Have you ever been somewhere so quiet, so isolated, that it felt like the silence was watching you? I want to share a story about one of the most chilling nights of my life at a lighthouse that's said to be cursed. This isn't just any story, it's something I experienced firsthand, and even now I can't explain what I saw that night. Let me take you back to the old lighthouse on the edge of a rocky coastline, where something beyond this world still lingers. It was a few years ago when I visited a small coastal town with some friends. The town had this eerie charm, with fog rolling in every evening and the sound of waves crashing against the rocks. One evening, we decided to explore the old lighthouse. The locals warned us to stay away. They said strange things happened there, unexplainable things, but we were young, curious, and, honestly, a little reckless. We reached the lighthouse just as the sun was setting. It stood tall and lonely, surrounded by jagged rocks and the endless sea. The paint on its walls was peeling, and the windows were dark, like empty eyes staring back at us. Something about it felt wrong, but we laughed it off and stepped inside. The air inside was damp and cold. Each step we took echoed through the narrow spiral staircase. At first it was just an old abandoned building, nothing scary, but as we climbed higher, the air felt heavier, and an unshakable feeling of being watched crept over us. When we reached the top, we found an old lantern room. The view was stunning, waves crashing against the rocks, the moonlight reflecting on the water. But then, one of my friends noticed something strange. There was an old, rusted oil lamp sitting in the corner, still lit. How was that possible? No one had been here for years, or so we thought. We decided to head back down, but as we reached the staircase, we heard it. A faint tapping sound. It was coming from below us. At first, we thought it was just the wind, or maybe an animal. But then, the tapping turned into footsteps, slow and deliberate, climbing the stairs toward us. We froze. My heart was pounding so loud I thought it would burst. We called out, "Hello? Is someone there?" But there was no response, just the sound of those footsteps, getting closer and closer. And then, we saw it. A figure, pale and translucent, was climbing the stairs. It wore what looked like an old sailor's uniform, and its eyes, they were hollow, empty. It didn't walk like a person. It glided, its feet barely touching the steps. And then it stopped and looked straight at us. In that moment, time seemed to freeze. None of us could move. The figure raised one hand and pointed toward the lantern room. Then it spoke, not with words, but in our heads. A voice echoed in my mind saying, "Leave now. You don't belong here." We didn't need to be told twice. We ran down those stairs as fast as we could and out into the cold night air. When we turned back, the light in the lantern room flickered and went out. The lighthouse stood dark and silent, as if nothing had ever happened.